Hello, welcome to the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. I am your host, Zip Gun, and I am the Lord Chamberlain of the Enchanted Kingdom. We're located not too far from Souk, BC. Sadly, we're on the Dominion of Canada's power grid, which means that often the power goes out, which might happen. And if it does, well, it might make it slightly more difficult to make this video, but because we have an independent battery power system for such failures, we will endure. Today I want to talk about the Empress herself. She has done me the wonderful privilege of including me in her thoughts when she goes to the local thrift stores. Now, we are both avid thrift store shoppers. I only go for music. I almost never buy anything else, although I found almost all of the stereo in here in the thrift store. But the amazing thing about the Empress is that in the, 12 years, that we've been together, she has managed to figure out the stuff that I'd likely buy in a thrift store pretty much without fail. Now, this is no small feat because if any of you watching my videos will know, my range of tastes is very wide, and there's a lot of stuff that I consider to be complete garbage. And there's really not a lot of room in here for garbage. So we joke and call her my enabler. However, the thrift stores lately have been yielding some pretty cool stuff. And I'm going to go through them quickly because I got a few, but I had to go downtown, came up at one thrift store with Early Man Closing In. This band is all about the story. They're a bunch of guys that were brought up strict questions, discovered metal, made a record. Is it any good? It's okay. Does it sound like every other metal record? Absolutely. I played it once. I might even play it again. This one made me laugh. Melton Mustafa Orchestra. Now, I just found one of this guy's records in another thrift store. And he's on contemporary. Lester Koenig, I believe, is involved. And it looks kind of cheesy. The layout and stuff is kind of not, high tech. But Bob Weinstock produced this. This guy's big band is wild. It's really good. Heavily influenced by Miles. He's a trumpeter. And the fact that I found two of these at two separate thrift stores 2 weeks apart for $1 each makes me really happy because I haven't played this one yet. I played the other one. It totally knocked my socks off. I had to buy this. Mr. Big. Remember Mr. Big? Yeah, no, God help us. Mr. Big were a note wanker pop band. And they had one big hit, which mercifully I can't remember the name of. Now, the reason I bought this is crazy, it was $1, is because it's a Japanese issue. And like all things Japanese, there's just a tiny attention to detail about this that makes me laugh. Now, I thought this was actually signed by the band, but in fact, that is printed on the case, such as they do in Japan. I'm afraid to play this. I think I might just turn around and try and sell it, but whatever. There it is. And then, again, this band, now I haven't played any of these yet, but a band called Brave Combo. Now, these guys came out, when did they come out? And they were kind of a polka band, new wave polka band, 1990 this is. They made a bunch of records. They're all very highly regarded. And I found two different Brave Combo records at two thrift stores, 2 weeks apart, $1 each. And I got a feeling I'm going to like them, but I haven't played it yet. And then I found, and this was really funny, Shandos, Ellington Dawson. So you got a Shandos record, I buy it anyways. It's an Ellington, quote-unquote, classical piece. I'd buy that anyway. And then there's William Levi Dawson's Negro Folk Symphony, which I don't think I have. Anyways, $1. Yes, I'm buying it. Okay, those are the ones I found. Now, these are the ones the Empress found, and maybe I'll do them in there. So, I don't remember where these came from. Langford, perhaps. And this is just, I thought, Zip might like these. So, first we start out with Scarlatti, Domenico Scarlatti on the harpsichord by Dassault Werk, Teldec. How is this going to not be good? I'll buy in 1992 digital recording. Yep, sold. Good. Love that stuff. I think the Empress perhaps bought this for herself. I haven't played it. I have a very low opinion of Cat Power. I'm going to keep attempting to like this music, but it has so far been an uphill battle. The Blue Note Festival 70 or 97. These were Canada-specific Blue Note compilations. This one has Renee Rosnes, who's Canadian, Jane Bennett, who's Canadian, Junko Onishi, Jackie McLean, Sonny Fortune, Jimmy Smith, Elaine Elias, Joe Lovano. Good compilation. I'm sort of a sucker for these. We have the Bob Marley Grave Robbery, done by his own family. I talk about this in another video, so I'm not going to belabor it. Chuck D is on it. Steven Tyler and Joe Perry is on it. They seem to be on all these records. She found a copy of London Calling. We already have it, sadly. But you need a copy of that. She found a copy of The Best of John Lee Hooker, which we already have, sadly. She found Haydn String Quartets by the Kodaly Quartet, which, sadly, we also have that too. But she made up for it with Dvorak String Quartets on Naxos. Perfect shape. Yep, okay, that's good. But this is the jewel. This just leaps out of the pile. The David Bowie Darum collection. Now, I am a junkie for Darum records. If I digress for a moment, Darum was to Decca what Harvest was to EMI, what Vertigo was to Phonogram. It was the hip label, and when they started in, I think it was 66, Mr. David Bowie was one of their artists, and he actually released 4 singles and an album. Now, if you are a fan of David Bowie, and I like Bowie, but I do not subscribe to the myth that he was some kind of genius. I think he was a pretty interesting pop star, and what he really needed more than anything was a foil. There is no foil on this. The foil is Mike Vernon. Certain songs on this collection start with tubas. One starts with a funky bassoon figure. This is British music hall pop in the manner of Anthony Newley. The Laughing Gnome, which I had never heard before, is positively cringe-inducing. However, having said this, I've got 3/4 of the way through this before I just had to turn it off. It's like eating 6 pounds of cotton candy. But I actually quite enjoyed it. It's sort of great in its horribleness. And the fact that none of these songs were even remotely hits should come as absolutely no surprise to anybody, because they were clearly, he was trying to be a pop star. It didn't work. And then he moved on. There is actually an early version of, Space Oddity on this, which I haven't played yet, but that's everything up to RCA that you need. So then the Empress went to another thrift store, and again, we're finding stuff. Heinrich Schultz doing, Symphonie Sacrée 1. This is weird, obscure stuff. I love this stuff. Early music, Capriccio label, 1986. I want that. We got a Dave Brubeck, Young Lions and Old Tigers. Now, this looks like it might be not so great, except you look who play on it. Well, let's see. You got Jerry Mulligan, you got Joshua Redman, you got James Moody, you got the Mulligan's on a bunch of stuff here. George Shearing, Joe Lovano, Christian McBride, Michael Becker. I mean, gee whiz, John Hendricks. How can this not be pretty good? If you like Brubeck, that's got to be good. This one made me laugh. Virgil Fox. Remember him? No, nobody remembers him. Virgil was briefly, and I mean briefly, well, he was clearly, now this is on Living Stereo, which are some audiophiles, mono freaks love this stuff. And they are good sounding records. Now, Virgil was kind of, how would you describe Virgil Fox? He was kind of the rock star of the pipe organ. And after this recording, which I don't remember much about this recording. He does Bach, Vidor, Purcell, and Handel, sure. He signed with Decca and did things like pipe organ at rock concerts. And he did quite well for himself. Now, needless to say, these records, because they came out as records and they sold quite well, they didn't sound very good. But if you were a rock and roller, you didn't know what a real pipe organ sounded like. You go, hey, is that like dude we saw at the Fillmore, man? Yeah, I'd buy his record. And a lot of people did. Anyway, I can't wait to hear this because it'll be a pipe organ record on living stereo. That's all I need to know about. We have, what do you, a 2 CD Handle Gold. This is one of these great new, now that everybody is owned by Universal Records. This, it says Decca on it, but there's DG stuff and there's like Deutsche Grammophon stuff and there's other stuff. This is just a grab bag of really good Handel sung by basically Bryn Terfel, Joan Sutherland, everybody. Basically everybody singing on it. If you don't keep it, give it to somebody. And then we have Magdalena Cosenza. Sadly, we also have this. This is a really good CD, and it's on the Archive production label, which of course is Deutsche Grammophon's early music label, if you will. They don't put a lot of stuff out on Archive anymore, which is too bad because anything on Archive is worth buying, in my opinion. And she's a lovely singer, and I love Vivaldi. I'm a sucker for Vivaldi. I'll buy anything by Vivaldi. But this one took the cake. Now, if this CD could talk, we have a band whose name I cannot pronounce. Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil. Okay, let's see if I can figure out what language this is in. Now, this is duologues. Compositions by Christian Black to oil pastels by Anders Hüller. Oh, they give it away. The transatlantic joint venture by Faroese composer, Christian Black, and Danish artist. Now, this is, I don't know what possessed her to buy this, but I'm glad she did. Anders Hagberg on flute and bass flute. I will note here that the Empress really dislikes jazz flute. Wiluweski on tenor and soprano. A guy whose name is Hioin Zizka Davidson on guitar, who seems to be a confused young man on this recording. Christian Black on piano vocal, Michael Black on bass. In short, this sounds a lot like an ECM record. Wonderful recording, recorded in the Faroe Islands. So there you go. That ticks a box in my collection. I don't have anything recorded in the Faroe Islands. And we listened to about half of it, and some of it was really pastel ECM-like. And every so often the guitar player would crank up his distortion pedal and like, whoa, what's going on? So it's not boring. It's not super interesting. I imagine if you were to stare at the paintings that each track is about, you might derive more enjoyment out of it. I'm not sure. Anyway, that one, that's, good luck finding another copy of that one. So there you got it. The Empress, she's got it nailed. And I don't even have to leave the house now. I got this huge pile of stuff. I haven't even listened to half of it. So yeah, there you go. I thought I'd share it with everybody because people seem interested in my thrift store finds. They're still out there. You find the right thrift store. You find one where they're in 5 different places, in boxes. And you never know what you'll find. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification button so you find out when these happen. And we'll do more. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Look after each other. Don't buy the bullshit. The pandemic is real. Take it seriously and we'll get through it together. Take care, everybody.